All right, I almost switched back to my Mac because Fedora upgrade broke OBS. OBS seems so fickle, so I had to replace the camera positioning so it might not be the same size or resize, but who cares? So last time we fixed the scroll bar, like visualized the scroll bar and got it working. It looks good. I like it. And today we're gonna try to extract the scroll bar into a UI widget, like a UI underscore scroll bar T. Maybe we'll do the same for the text view, that text view component as well, and then maybe make them generic into like a node type. But for now, we're just going to do it a bit more specific. So. Let's just see where we're at. There we go. I kind of love that. It's just simple, clean. We might do something where we have text wrapping for that too. We could do that once we isolate this into its own component and this into its own component. Yeah, so let's just dive in and do it. Where is that? That's in our log viewer app. So I think we're going to extract a lot of this out, which will make the app easier and make it reusable. We'll keep it simple at first because a lot of these are getting the window. I don't think they should probably get the window. I think they should maybe get the surface. Makes more sense. Or the app itself should maybe determine its rectangle. Yeah, maybe that's what should. Yeah, let's just see. So I'm thinking what we'll have is we've got all our apps here, or all our modules, and we'll have a new UI one. And let's just call it. We'll do the same thing where we have a top level one. We don't use that, we use Pragma, and we use our license. So we know we're going to need, I'm thinking of something like this. And then we could also have a UI text viewer for the texting, but we need to think what it's going to have internally. We're doing content height. Yeah, we're doing, I think we need to these need to get passed in. I don't know how I'm going to do this. We want to figure out the API we want to call. And we want, like, I'm not sure if we want these all allocated. We probably do. The app will allocate all these widgets. But if you have a huge tree of widgets, do you want to allocate all those on the stack? Probably have to. But once they're a node, you could have a large array. Well, let's as usual, let's just keep it simple. So we're going to need allocator. I don't know what else we're going to need just yet, so let's just start with this. I need to make that a pointer. I'm going to stop a certain here because we're doing it in the allocator, I think. I don't know if we need to do a pass to clean all that up. Let me just check what we're doing everywhere else. Places we're calling it. No, let's continue. We can do that in one pass where we do it for everything. So we're going to return the widget. It's okay for now. All right. And these actually, what are we doing here? This will be the implementation. We can delete all this. This needs to go on top. All right, so that's the API. Well, that's the constructor destructor. Let's see where. I think what we would do is have a UI scroll bar. So again, this is probably going to be Node in the future where it's generic and you have a tree of them. But for now, we want to name it scroll bar in case we have multiple widgets. Where is create function? Is that, yeah, that's on the state. I'm doing these because these seem more important, like they're allocated. I kind of like having them at the top. Let's just keep them together for now. What is it? Close. We need to get more consistent on this naming. This is called all right. And let's see what we're doing in events, because we can pass a lot of this event stuff. to the scroll bar. No, because this is actually the events being handled here are all. It's kind of weird because they're related to the scroll bar and the text, so you can't just stuff it all in the scroll bar. And they're really only just setting some local state that during draw we can pass the right stuff to the scroll bar draw function, which would probably be like I don't know what it's going to get yet. So scroll bar. Why am I calling it? It's passing void back. And let's just rename that scroll bar. And same here. We'll make it more generic when we make the functions more generic in the types. So this is what we're drawing. We're going to need some of this stuff, obviously. This is just to help a rename. Why does this need, so the track rec could be passed in. Let's also yank inside there. So we don't need track rec. This would be state scroll bar. Because the window needs to know the track rec, right? It needs to know. Yeah, that's what it needs. But the thumb rec, what does it need access to? What if I just bring this whole thing over here and put it at the bottom, make it a forward declared function. And again, that's just so we can put the important functions at the top. So scroll bar track height. I'm just trying to get rid of max scroll ratio and scroll Y. We don't need this anymore, right? Can't we do track correct? Yeah, we don't even need this. I don't know why. This shouldn't be here, even in the other version. So we need the scroll Y, the surface width. What do you need? You need so we need max scroll and I'm just wondering, we need content height. We really just need content height and viewport height, right? And we can get that, we can pass that in. Let's just make these a little longer. We might end up storing these like internally, but for now, because we're going to pass in like a void pointer or even just a struct of the scroll bar state, like the scroll bar is going to have state, but let's just manually do it. So we're going to need content height, viewport height. Oh. So max let's just get that so we don't need this function anymore. We don't need it over here, I don't think. And then the viewport height, or no, this is visible ratio. And then scroll Y. Again, we're just passing these. We're just kind of passing these in manually right now, and we'll move out what we need. All right. This needs to be surface, track rect, content height, viewport height. What else do we need? Scroll Y. And then the function draw. We need to update the function signature here. All right, so we don't have we could have like a close function that calls this, but we're just not worried about it right now. I'm closing it here already, yep. So let's do we pass the content, the rect. These are the two things we need. Height and what did I say? State scroll Y. Shoot, I needed it for that get scroll max height. Ah, and I needed this. We need scroll rect in so many places. Don't really want to duplicate it. What is it? Is it always scrollbar thumb rect? Thumb, thumb, thumb. Oh, that's 4 of them. Where's the 5th issue? Yeah, I'm wondering if we want to get wrecked. That's funny, get wrecked. If we want to put it, is that going to be needed? Like, I'm wondering if we could do it here and return it. You know what I mean? Like do it as another function, but that seems very specific. But it might not be, is because every element needs to know. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, it doesn't. It's almost like all these need to just pass the event where it's relative, past the event. Like get rid of this and pass this event into the scroll bar. If, yeah, that's what it needs to do. It needs to pass this event to the scroll bar if it's in the track rect. That's what needs to happen. So we need an event handler. Okay, that's kind of good. We're gonna do. We might need to make these Boolean to say whether or not we handled it, you know. But event. I think. Why doesn't it like that? Oh yeah, duh. I was thinking that was a name for a sec. So this. I don't know if we're gonna have to convert. We might have to convert. The reason we're doing that is because we need to have some state on here. For instance, thumb grabbed. Scroll Y needs to stay here. We might always pass it, but we're probably gonna need it. We're probably gonna need it, so let's just leave it. So let's see what's broken. Or no, let's not see what's broken. Let's just fix what we know we can fix. So this is okay. We'll need to like send an update for scroll Y maybe, but this can be I don't know if I like this, but equals graphics rect contains let's do if hit scroll bar I hope this makes sense. So, oh. I'm kind of just moving a little too fast, but I'm gonna say if we hit scroll bar, and really let's be adults here, if so we're gonna pass itself and then the event, right? Then this oof. This is going to go away. Thumb bar. Oh, we have this function now. That's, we don't have the surface here. Sweet. What does it need surface for? Wait. Why can't this just be this? And then we get rid of this. And we need to I just wanted to see if this is what we expect. Yeah, we don't need, cool, that's one down. So we need a tracked rec, but we don't have it here. That's cool. All right. We don't need that. We do need the surface. Draw does need the surface. Wait, what's our error for? The state. So if we're going to do this, content height, viewport height, I was about to see if we can determine that from just the track rect. Content height, what do we? No, we need that to be passed in. What about the viewport height? That's the content, that's the surface height. I don't know that that's always going to be, like, imagine we're using the surface height, but imagine if you have a split, so you can't, yeah, we don't want that. So we do need them both, I guess is my point. You want to specify it, but that means we can go that's fine. Yeah, yank to there. What happened? We'll need an update function to update these on window resize. Which honestly, can we? No, we're gonna need to set it from the outside. I was gonna say, can we get it by the event? But the event, is that what you want to do? Do you want to pass events, or do you want to have something parent that's in control of that and manages that? I think that's what you want. This still isn't happy. We don't need track rec anymore. These are all so func draws scrollbar surface Y. All right, so what? Yeah, why are we doing this? Why does the thumb bar directly scroll Y? It does. And do we call thumb? Nope, we're in thumb rect. Am I tripping? Is that not scroll Y? Scroll Y? I want to delete this anyway. We can set this to 0 right now. We're just going to cache it, right? That was the whole point of that. Draw. So we are going to scroll bar. We need to update. No. Do we want to store scroll Y, or do we want to take it in? And what do we need to do with it? We just need to update the thumb rect. This could be like a struct later. What comes first? Event? I think event handling, then update. Whoa. Oh, I didn't even set up. All right. So do we not need this anymore? Because this is going to update what we need for this. And I don't know if we want to call update every time, because we could pass in. What if we had something like type def struct UI scrollbar update description, and it had scroll y, and it really had I don't love it. Content height's not going to change regularly, but viewport height will. Content, like if you open a new file, yeah, we can do that though. Oh, did I not mean to do that? I wonder if, does anything need content height and viewport height? Content height and viewport height are used by what? Like other than that, it's only used by scrollbar rect. I don't know if I really want to do this. The reason so both of these places get content and view. Okay, so I think this is the move. The reason is we don't need to store these. We're going to call it with update, which is going to call scrollbar rect. It's going to call this an update, because the only thing that really matters. Wow, sorry. I always forget that thing's there. So the reason we don't need that is because then we can actually just use this. We don't need to store it anywhere, let it get out of sync or anything. It's just a lot cleaner like that. This is less to take care of. Why do you not match now? Aren't you happy? Scroll bar surface scroll y. Alright. Scroll bar surface. Oh, we don't need scroll Y anymore. Awesome. That might have been kind of hard to follow. Sorry if it was. All right, so let's go back here. So what we can do here so if we get any, we want that to release anytime we mouse up, because if we drag off that window, there's some weirdness there, because if you drag outside of the window and let up, you never get the event, which is unfortunate. I don't know how you handle that, if you handle that at a higher level. Like the Windows server sends that event to everybody. But it'd almost be like if mouse up, call this. Then check if it hit. This is getting mouse wheel. This is the whole app is getting mouse wheel. Yeah, but we're changing this, which is great. That will affect this later. If thumb grabbed. I kind of want, I don't know how we're going to do this one. Oh, can I? Can I just do this? Yeah, but the problem here is we need to set scroll Y. This thing has scroll Y. We need, like, this owns scroll Y. We need to pass it to the event, right? Like, we pass it later on when we call update. You know, like wherever. But if we stuff all this over here, we don't need that. We don't need either of these, actually. It's not that, it's scroll bar. See, I like this. I mean, this makes sense in here. Get max scroll. Oof, we don't have that. And we don't. we're gonna get this new scroll. Oh, that should not be redefined. Get next scroll. Oh wait, do we have max scroll somewhere? So that's just a one-liner. Oh, shit. Since we're passing that in every time, we don't have access to it. Max scroll height. There's a million ways you can do this kind of stuff. Like how much do you cache? How much do you update? I'm just trying to keep it minimal. All right. But I don't know, like when that event comes in, I could do that, but like we need scroll. What if we did wait, did I not just add that? Wait, what? Scroll Y, right? Okay. I've got an idea. Content height, viewport height. These are the three values that matter, right? So when we update, we get all three of those. When we create, we get two of them. And update needs to get track rect. Okay, we already have track rect. These are like parent things. These are internal properties. These are calculated, and these are passed in. All right. Yeah, this is a little messy. It's I kind of got it in my brain, but and then we don't need this. We don't need that, or this, or this, or this. These are the things that we need. These we don't need. These we don't need. That macro is still sitting around. All right. We don't need this anymore. Thumb right, track right. Scroll. What the hell is that? That would have been a quick little bug. We would have taken a while to find. Screw this thing. No, scroll bar is 0 when you start. Thumb rect. I'm putting these in the order that we had before. So let's just get this up here. We're just going to calculate it. We're going to need it. We've got, this is going to take a minute. I'm trying to get back to that max. Max scroll height. This is a lot of shifting around, but everything kind of feels organized. I kind of like it. Rec. Okay. I'm okay with that. What if I just get rid of this? Oh shit, okay. All right, we have to have I don't think that this is going to be how it works later, but no, what is it? State scroll bar. Like, I mean, you can hold. I don't know. I don't want to store it in two places, but we do have the update function for it. So we could do scroll Y. Everywhere we change it, what else is part of Func update? Track rec, content height, viewport height. Scroll bar, track rec. I don't love this. One last thing. I think this is what we want. I'm going to do it at the non-T, kind of the non-T version is how Sokal does it. And let's just see if we hate it or love it right off the rip. They do it as a pointer. I don't actually know why, because the size, but this is fairly small. Do we want to do it as a pointer? Even as a const pointer? That way we can leave whatever we want blank, so we can fill out scroll Y and then update these. I'll show you here. Let's go here, update. Actually, we don't even need that. I'll just delete this. Okay. Let's do empty. Return rect.x plus rect.y plus rect.width plus rect.height equals 0. We need to be able to tell if these are empty, because we need to know the 0 state. So if graphics rect is empty, update track rect. No, if it's not empty, then we're going to update it, right? Content and viewport are never going to be 0, so if content update content height is greater than 0, viewport is greater than 0. I don't know how long this video is. It's probably getting long. Oh, scroll Y can be 0? Shoot. Wow, that sucks. Because if we're really updating it to 0, great. No, not great, because it's not going to go out. But if we update everything, say we update content height and viewport height, and we leave this 0, we don't want to set it as 0. Shoot. Why does nothing ever go just the easy way? Scroll Y can be 0. You could update it every time. Maybe the reason you do a pointer is because if this could be passed in as just totally empty struct. I don't know. All right, let's just try it out. So let's close this. Nope, that is. So this changes internally. The problem here is we're still inside the scroll bar. It has a way to change its own thing. Bummer. What does draw want now? Just the surface. And the scroll bar itself. We're doing that inside that function. Get max. It's really calling that one time. All right, so after this, we're drawing it, but we're only update. We need to update it. Oh, we're not passing in window resize events. Is that why? Window interleave. Yeah, we need to send that on the resize, but that's like another thing, I think. Like another. Let's just build and run and see where we're at. We've done a lot of stuff. So this is happening, but the scroll bar is not getting it. That's not doing anything. Okay. Integer overflow, that's sweet. Alright, how far are we? I need to take a break for a minute anyway. Hour and a half. Okay, I'm going to pause for a minute, get some drinks, use the restroom, and I think we're really close though. Alright. Let's just quote. Be right back. How do I stop it? You can't pause recording, you have to open the stupid window up. Alright. I don't know how long it's been, a couple hours, I think. I ran a bunch of errands. I thought about it. And I feel like the parent has to own scroll. The other ones are alright for compute. Like those, they're kind of read-only properties that get updated. Wait, am I recording? Yes. So, well, keyboard's off. Let's what? All right. So actually, this isn't ever passing back, which I need to somehow pass this back. And what if I'm spitballing here, so these are like internal methods, but what if we had a callback and we need to return? It's going to be a function pointer the parent's going to set. The child's going to call. And it is, why can I not hit that key? Callback. Update scroll. That's really long. I'm not gonna get too weird about it right now. I don't think we need to pass anything. I think this is what we want. Let's go to the app. And if we do a scroll bar, where do we do scroll bar create? And what if we do scroll bar, and then we got to set a function here. Wait, does this make sense? I don't know how I'm going to do this scroll back. I'm going to sneeze, one sec. Oof, glad I got that time. Yeah, if we pass in the scroll bar, but we also need this local state. But I'm like, if I have this, I can't. So I could do state scroll bar y equals. Let's just see what we're thinking. When I call this, I'm not going to be able to pass that in. I can't pass in the state. What the hell do I do here? And I can't do a closure. I feel like I'm missing a basic part of, like, if I could do a closure, it might work. All right, let's not get too sidetracked. This is absolutely not what we're gonna do. Do not return. What we're gonna do here is temporary, just to see if we can get everything working. Which one did we do? Update? No. Void. We're not doing this permanently. So mouse move. I'm getting a call. I just want to see if this would work properly because we had a couple issues. Stupid. Line 54. Oh. Control reaches. This is absolutely disgusting and not what we're going to do. I'm just trying to see if stuff will. Oof. 129. Yeah, something's wrong. No, 121. Which is cool because that file that doesn't exist. Oh, it's an app C. Oh. That we can clean this up, but it's basically it was setting line count was 0. And this is going to override it. 36. All right, we might have a similar thing. Oh, line 36. Scrollbar C line 36. Load value of 205, which is not a valid type for bool. That is because need to zero stuff out. We keep coming back to that. Okay. That's working, but I mean, it's working. It's just not updating the draw site, but if I scroll, it does it. Okay. We're getting closer. I just want to be able to see our changes a little easier. Screw that for now. is I'm wondering if he's relative or not. Okay, we are grabbing. No, let's leave it. Just make sure everything's happening as we expect. Moving with grow. Okay. Oh, hold on. I got it. I know what it is. We gotta pass it back. That's gonna be state scrollbar func update. Boom. Okay. So we actually are working the way we want, but let's get rid of all these. The problem is our callback system sucks. Oh, wait a minute. No, I know what we got to do, I think. Wait. Watch this. Where is our callback? Did I delete it? Probably did. Let's look here, scroll bar. Do not return. This is going to be void. We're going to have our callbacks. I32. I'm wondering if I can make this. I could probably make this generic, more generic. This is going to take a struct UI scroll bar. This. Watch this. But should we make it generic now? No, let's not make it generic. But we can with a void pointer. And oh no. No, it will work. No, we don't do this. We want this. It needs to be called. Yeah, shit. We're back in the same situation. This doesn't need to be updated. It's going to be updated in here, I think. Yeah, shit, we're back in the same spot. This is going to update it, but that's right. That's the callback. And here, this still doesn't work the way I want. I was going to complain about it being late in the day and I can't think it through, but it's 3 o'clock. This is where we need to delete that. This is, what would we want to do here? We would want to do Scrollbar CB scroll Y. That's what you would want. That's the callback. Right? So this would... The problem is You know, the problem is no, that's not what. Come on, man. I'm fading. I'm doing. That should be what it is. This is where we got to the first time. But we don't have any way to touch state, right? All right, let's just, so we can wrap this video up. I'm just putting 99 to make it. This is just it. We don't have access to the parent content. And see how to. Variable or state. I'm just gonna put variable because it looks like somebody else has searched for it before too. I mean, imagine like, but that's just it. I mean, this is. Basically, this still doesn't show. That's for forking. I might have to go read a book. I want to bust out one of the C books. Call back. All right, let's wrap it up with what's the best way we can do this so it's not horrible but it's still functional. because you can't call it because you don't have the free. You're setting it on the scroll bar here. You want the parent to set it, I would imagine. But the parent's not going to call it, so it can't pass in the function. All right. Okay, I know what we could do. We're going to do a... We're not generic yet, so we can do it. Get scroll bar, get scroll Y on that scroll bar. That's what we're going to do. I don't think that we need to do this. This is super temporary. We're going to get rid of the callback for now. That's going to be this is even this stupid. Watch this. If it updated it, because this doesn't work for if you have different types. This only works for a scroll bar, right? This needs to be like generic widgets later. And then that means we don't need this or this. What, please tell me I have, oh, scroll bar. Okay, wheel works, drag works. Oh, we don't have resize event yet. We don't. Okay. Yeah, because we do know about that. That is where we will call. All right, let's commit that. We can actually fix that. So this is, again, very temporary fix. All right. We got licenses in both, yeah. So I'm okay with this. Function event, update, draw, create, destroy, and then helper function. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't miss it that much, but sometimes it would be nice to just have some freaking methods or like three features from C++. But every time I've ever thought that, switch to it, then it just gets out of control. And I always end up hating the project in the long term. Did I change that? Oh yeah, because we got rid of that function. All right, so what's that? These don't even exist yet. Maybe we just leave them for now as a reminder. We don't really do that anywhere else, but all right. We're gonna send a resize event. I don't even know. Yes, we do want to resize event watch just because then. I don't know if we need more than that. I don't know if we need this size in there because delete to let's see. It needs to be a pointer. So what we're gonna do, that's in the app. So the window is already resized, so we don't have to pass it with the event. We might want to in the future, but we don't have to now. We're going to get a little bit more consistent with this. This is the same frame, so that's why the same context. That's why it complains there. What about that? Do we need the rect? Scrollbar track rect? I really don't like this formatting. I don't know why it's so shit. This is just going to update everything. Does this update do everything we want? All right. Oh, we're missing that. Let's see. WS. All right, so this still works. What if we resize? Shit, it worked. What if we resize? One thing we did is when we scrolled to the bottom and then drug down further, it didn't work. Oh, now it's working perfect. Hell yeah. That was the thing. If we were like this and at the bottom and we resize, it would just... That's a new bug, by the way. Where you... This here. I'm not clicking or doing anything. Whatever you're... I just realized what it is. That's the pull to front. We're doing that on all the events, I think. But when I drag this down, it would have all black under here. It wouldn't keep the text at the bottom of the screen, and I much prefer that. Hell yes. What was that? It's the window, but it's kind of an application. We kind of need maybe a wrapper. Maybe not. Maybe that's what you need, is just the window. Because an app could have multiple windows. Okay. I'm just going to leave. Yeah, it's not, yeah, that's what it should be. Alright, so this is super long again, as always. They always go longer than we say. Shit, it's 2:10. I'm going to save it then. I'll do some other cleanup stuff after to fix that bug. That's it for today. Long time. Took a lot longer than it should have, but we'll get into more stuff. Bye.